If you're watching this video, then maybe, just like me, you're getting married. If that's the case, congrats, I'm so excited for you. If you don't know me, well, my name is Alexa. I'm a fiance and a digital product designer with over 7 years of professional experience, and today I wanted to talk about designing wedding websites through showing you the behind the scenes for how I designed various wedding websites using the popular wedding website platforms, starting with The Knot. That's right, this will be the first video of a few videos that I am making in this series. For all of the websites I'm designing, I will be using real photos of my fiance and I from our engagement photo shoot taken by our amazing photographer, Laur Fernandez, who I will link below. But all of the content is placeholder. You guys, I'm also getting married and I don't want the whole world to know about all the details to our wedding. So just letting you know, all the content is fake. Hashtag fake news. If you want to skip ahead to the demo, go ahead. I've included the various chapters of content I will be going over in this video, but for those interested, I wanted to start by sharing a bit about some design principles I've considered while designing these websites, knowing most of them require you to start with a template and aren't very flexible from a design perspective. First is a brief lesson in typography. A typeface is a particular set of glyphs or characters of which share a common design. Maybe you've heard of it. The most popular typeface is called Helvetica. But why does this matter for your wedding website? Well, there are also various styles of typefaces you could consider when choosing typography for your website. The three most common styles are serif, sans serif, and decorative, which can really shift the mood of the design drastically. Serif fonts are the ones with little lines on the ends of its characters and tend to be more classic or formal, while sans serif is known to be more minimalistic or casual. There tends to be more sans serif typography used on the web, I think because it tends to be easier to read, whereas in print, serif tends to be more favored. That said, there are so many great typefaces out there now doing great work for the reader, so you can really use serif or sans serif wherever you'd like. Now, decorative typefaces are best used in small amounts because, well, they can be quite decorative. These typefaces have extreme features like big swooshes and exaggerated serifs, which make them hard to read in large amounts. I'm just putting this out there. I have found there to be a lot of bad decorative typefaces on these wedding websites, so be careful. I think most importantly, you want to choose typefaces which make reading the content on your wedding website easy and enjoyable. Just keep that top of mind and you can't go wrong. And then the last thing I want to say about some design things to think about before I show you the site that I made is how to think about color. Color is meaningful, and this meaning can come from various places. It could come from culture, or it could come from your personal life and memories. Without getting into too much detail about color, the most important thing I think to get right is contrast. For example, you want to be able to clearly see the typography on your website, so make sure that the colors you choose make it easy for the viewer to read. If you have any follow-up questions about design as it relates to your wedding website, feel free to drop me a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you with some answers. Okay, with that out of the way, let's not wait any longer and jump into showing you how I designed this first wedding website on The Knot. Okay, and actually I wanted to share one more thing before we jump on to demoing you the website that I created. I wanted to talk about how I was thinking about creating this website. So I really wanted to focus on creating a website that I thought was simple, elegant, and timeless. One where I could really let the photos that our photographer took stand out. And I wanted to make sure that the content was easy to read for our guests. I don't want there to be any questions about where the location is or like not being able to read something because the typography was too small or too decorative or whatever. And then the other thing too was that I think at this point, the point where I was creating our wedding website, which was at the very, very beginning of wedding planning, I wasn't really sure like what our wedding colors were or what like typography would speak to the overall theme of our wedding. I wasn't sure what kind of flowers or decoration or like what the whole vibe was gonna be yet. So to me, I was thinking that like something that was more simple and timeless that again could like really emphasize the photos was something that would work better for where we were at, and that could grow and scale with the rest of the wedding planning that we were doing. So with this wedding website and the rest of the wedding websites that I'm working on, with all of them, I was trying to create a website that was more simple and timeless, like I said. So if you're interested in that, you could completely copy exactly what I do, but maybe you do like a little bit more spice, or you like decoration and you found a really good template that like matches your style and you know that already. That's totally great. Just sharing what my perspective was and where I was at with all of this, and hopefully that is helpful for you. Without further ado, let's jump into showing you how I made this website. Here is the website that we're going to be creating today. This is the homepage. This is what it looks like. This is the content that shows up there. It's mostly like the timeline and just details, stuff like that. The next page will be our story. This is usually where couples will share how they met. The next page is photos. It's like a photo gallery. Usually people put their engagement photos there. The next is the wedding party. The wedding party for all of my demo sites will just be our dog Coda. So hope you enjoy that. And then the next page is Q&A. Then we have travel, so how people are going to get to your wedding location. And then finally, things to do around your wedding location. Okay, I just signed up. This is a completely fresh, brand new account. I'm gonna demo what I did to create the wedding website that I just showed you. So first things first, it says find your design. Get started by choosing a look for your wedding website. You can switch into a new design at any time. Now the one that I think works the best for what I'm looking for is called Minimal Chic. So Minimal Chic, I'm gonna select it here. Great. And then I guess it starts having you put in your info. So I'm gonna put my fiance and I's names in here, just like that. Hit continue. And then great, congrats, you've created your wedding website. So Alexa and Mike get married, great, that will be perfect. I'll just include a link to the final design that I worked on in the description of this video so you can go and check it out for yourself. I'm gonna set my URL. And then the date. So if you don't have a wedding date yet, you can also just click season and year. And if it's multiple days, you can also include that. So that's kind of nice that they let you do that. I'm gonna do an exact date and I'm gonna make this January 1st of 2023. It feels like forever away. And then we're gonna make this in San Diego. Our wedding is actually not in San Diego, but for this example, I'm gonna do that. Save it. And then we are brought to, this is basically where you're going to manage your wedding website. So anytime you want to create updates to your wedding website, you will come here. You can also go here and edit your URL. You can toggle between the visibility here, if you want it to be private with a passcode, and then just edit the URL itself. So this is a completely blank, no content filled website. I will just walk you through what you're looking at. So on the left here, you have your pages. So you can actually collapse these. So you can see all of the pages that you have available to design and create content for on your website. And these are very standard, I think, for most weddings. This is the kind of types of content that you want to include so that your guests have everything that they need to know to prepare and get ready for your wedding. And then on the right here, you can see your theme. So you can browse other themes and even go in and choose a new theme if you no longer want this one. I particularly love this theme because I think it's simple, it's more of a blank slate. I think generally speaking, the typography is easy to read. I think it is elegant. Like I think that this ampersand in the middle here is actually quite beautiful and it is super decorative, but our names are not so decorative that it's hard to read. So I think this one works really well and is a good kind of just like blank slate, and I can add a lot of personality into this website with the content that we write and also the photos that we'll use. Just as an example of a wedding template that the Knot has that I don't think works very well is this one. It's called Exquisite Calligraphy. And so you'll see here that it's a very decorative font, and maybe depending on how you spell your name, it's easier or less easier to read. And maybe it works okay for the names here at the top, but you'll see that this decorative font is being added to other titles on the website. For example, the date here, the location, other areas as you scroll down. To me, it's starting to feel like it's a little bit too much, especially when you put two capital letters together like this, CA. I mean, that's hard to read. So I think that a template like this, where there's a lot of decoration for all of the titles, I don't think it works as well. So I'm gonna go back, I'm actually gonna cancel out of this. There we go, we're back to the minimal chic, which I think works really well. Has good decorative elements to it, but it's clear and concise and I can read it easily. I'm actually noticing I don't really like that it says CA here. I mean, I think you can read it fine compared to the other typeface, but I wanted to say California. So I'm gonna go back and try to change that. I think I can if I click into here, and here we go. So I'm gonna change this to say California. San Diego, California, cool. Select that, save. Awesome, I'm gonna preview the site. Yeah, see, I think I like that better. It's easier to read when it's fully spelled out like that. That's just a small detail. There's also a couple of different ways that you can add content to your website using the Knot. One is on the left panel here, like so. You can really just go in here and add all of the content. I typically prefer to actually be able to look at the website live that I'm updating while editing it. The way that you can do that is actually click into this preview button, and then there's this button here at the top. It says edit page. If you click that, you'll be able to actually edit your website and see it live update on the left. So I like this view better because it lets me be able to like, yeah, just see what's actually going on and make edits and adjustments as I go. So first I'm gonna click into, this is kind of maybe what you'd consider like a content widget. So I'm gonna click in here and start adding some updates. Instead of wedding day, I think I'm gonna say our wedding. It's theoretically on January 1st. You can add a start time and end time. You can add the venue name, attire, let's say it's formal, and then event schedule. So we have ceremony, reception. So you can actually click into here and like dial in on creating the more specific timeline that you have. Let's say it starts at 3:30 p.m. and it's gonna end at, let's just do an hour. We'll say 4:30. I'm not gonna do venue name or attire because I'm gonna assume it's just all at the same location. So the event information at the top will kind of speak to that. And then I actually want the next one to be our cocktail hour. I noticed this before when I made the first website here on The Knot, that you can't reorder these very easily. So you actually have to go in here and change this one. Cocktail hour, it's gonna go from 4:30 to 5:30. I'll click done. Excellent. And then I'm gonna add one more, which is our reception. And that's gonna go from, let's say 5:30 to 11. Perfect. Done. Okay. And then we'll be able to see what this looks like updated live. If I scroll down, you can see the attire is formal, and now we have our schedule here. So I am able to add some more widgets here to this homepage. What I'm gonna do is add a photo. I've already pre-selected all the photos that I wanna add to our wedding website, and I'm gonna do icons, cool. So I'm gonna add this photo here. You can have different types of crops for it. I think this crop is the best. So I'm just gonna upload the photo like this. And then you'll see that it's down at the bottom. And I actually wanna go back, click into this. I feel like I wanna make this a little bit more centered. I could see Mike was had a little bit more space on his side. So I'm gonna update that so it's more centered, perfect. As a designer, I wish I had more control over with this website was the different spacing. For some reason, some of these templates they seem like the spacing isn't quite right. And this is a little hack that I discovered. So for example, this one bothers me so much. There's such a little amount of space or like padding between the timeline and this photo, and it just feels so tight, and I wish it was a little bit breathing a little bit more. So what you can do is you can add a new element, you can add a new title, and if you make a large title and add just a space and save it, and then move that large title up above the photo, you give yourself a little bit more space. How cool is that? It's definitely a hack. And you know, I know The Knot is a tech company and they've got probably a great team of designers and engineers and product managers and a lot of people who are, you know, working on these tools every day. And I'm sure that they're working on making improvements to their template and website products, but that's something that I wish that the spacing and the padding was right with these things because it bothers me, but that's a way you can do it. You can get around it. I'm gonna close out of this. So I'm gonna exit page. And I'm actually gonna go back because I know that this is also a little bit weird with the home page. So the only way to add a cover photo, so if we go back to the real site, the only way to add a photo like this, it's called the cover photo, is to do it from that home page. I'm gonna actually just click in here, add a cover photo. I'm gonna select that image of Mike and I. Perfect, we're gonna crop it. There we go. So I'm going to preview this site. And now you can see that the cover photo is there. We have January 1st, San Diego, the timeline, boom, looking good. And then you'll see all the rest of these pages are still like coming soon because there's no content there. So let's move on to that, starting with our story. Actually, there was one thing that I noticed. Oh yes, okay, so if you'll see, this is the final website. You'll see it has just the date and the location here at the top. But if you look at the one that we're working on right now, if I preview it, it has the countdown. And I like the countdown. I just don't think it works very well with this website. There's like a lot going on at the top. So I wanted to simplify it down and just not include it there. So if you go back to the beginning and you click into the section here, there's a checkbox here. It says display countdown on homepage. I'm gonna uncheck that for now and click save. And if I go back and preview, there we go. Just one line, simple, beautiful, elegant, love it. Okay, let's go on to our story. I'm gonna close this because I've completed that section, and I'm gonna preview our story and edit the page. I actually like our story. I'm actually gonna make this not title cased, so it's our story with a lowercase s, and then I'm gonna add more to our story. So what I did here was actually do a photo gallery. I'm gonna drag in 3 photos, and they will upload now. Add to gallery. Perfect. I think if you go into edit gallery, you can, if you click here on the top left, you can easily move these around if you want to reorder them, but this is the exact order that I want them in, so I'm just gonna save and close. Great. So after that, I'm going to add text block. So I use this website called, it's like Hipsterism, which is basically placeholder copy, but it's all hipstery words, and I love it. Highly recommend. So this is how I get placeholder copy. So I'm gonna copy this, go back to our website and paste it in. So I wanna just preview the final website. This is what it's gonna look like. You'll see here that it's about 3 paragraphs of text, and I bolded this first section. So I'm gonna try to recreate that. Back here, we have, I don't know, we'll just say like this. I'm gonna bold this beginning section, and then I'm gonna do another paragraph break, and let's just see what this looks like. We're gonna save it. Yeah, looks great. I think this is good. So I'm going to close out of that, and our second page is already done. Let's move on to photos. Go into the Photos tab, edit page, and then I'm gonna add another photo gallery. So this time we're gonna be uploading, got these 3. So I'm gonna upload those first. Add to gallery, perfect. I'm gonna edit the gallery and add more photos here. And the next shots were these ones of us by the cliffs. Great, upload, add to gallery. Those look great, love it. And then I'm gonna edit one more time and add 3 more. These are some photos from on the beach. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Looks great. You can see right now that there's no title. So I'm gonna click this, I'm gonna add a title, and I'm gonna name it Photos of Us. I'm almost positive it's a large title, but let's just see what it looks like first. I'm gonna move it up, and yep, Photos of Us. I think it is a large title. Let's click large title and save it. Yep, that's exactly what we're looking for. We have our 3rd page complete, and it's looking good. The next page is wedding party. So we're gonna edit this page, and this one is a little bit different. We're going to add a person. So here, this is where we've added our wedding party. It's just various photos of Coda. The first is going to be Queen Coda. She's our maid of honor. We'll go back here, we'll add the Queen Coda as our maid of honor. And I actually really like this. It makes it really simple. You can just add the name, add the role, and then if you want, you can add a little bit more about the person. I'm not gonna do that for this example, but I think they just make it really simple, which is nice. We've got this wonderful photo of Coda from our apartment in San Francisco, where she's posing for the camera. All right, we're gonna save that and close out of that, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna edit this. Basically, you're just gonna keep adding people the same kind of way. I'm gonna just go through this really fast. It's pretty simple, and it just kind of automatically adds them in order. So we'll just do this really quick. Okay, we just have one more. All of Coda's various personalities. She's very derpy in this photo. I love it. Upload and save. Great, and that's that. So as you can see, as I close out of this, that they all just kind of go in order, left to right and down. You can of course reorder these. So if you hover over them, you'll see that there's these dots that show up on the left. If you move these around, you can see that this will actually change the order. This is the order that we actually wanted in though, so I'm gonna move it back. And our wedding party page is complete. Moving on to Q&A. This one is very simple. So when you go into edit, there are actually various widgets that you can add to this page. The first one that's gonna show up is the one that's recommended for the page that you're on. And so Q&A, as an example, is here. So here we're gonna add a question, very simple Q&A. I'm actually gonna go to the completed website and see what questions I asked so I can copy them over. How did you first meet? Okay, we're gonna add the next question, which is most memorable date. Put that placeholder answer in there, save it. Where's the honeymoon? If you're getting married, are you going on your honeymoon right away? Are you waiting? Mike and I are going on ours right away, and we're so excited about it. I think personally, I'm excited about like keeping the energy going, but everyone's like life is different. Some people aren't able to do that right away. Totally understand. Some people don't want to. So I don't know, let me know in the comments. Where are you going on your honeymoon? For Q&A, just like the rest of the pages, I want to add a title. So I'm going to do Q&A. It's going to be a large title. We're going to save it. We're going to move it up to the top. That page is complete. Looking good. All right, the travel page. So this gets a little bit interesting. What does the widget look like? We'll see. Now we have some new ones here. We have transportation and place to stay. First thing I'm going to do is actually add a title. And that's what we're gonna do large. It's gonna say traveling to San Diego. Save that. And then under that, I'm gonna add transportation. So we're traveling to San Diego. Oh, actually, okay, that's right. Okay, just trying to remember here. I remember not really being able to do much with this like transportation widget. I think because I'm not actually adding real content here. So theoretically you could add like, let's say San Diego International Airport or something, but it didn't work for what I was needing. So I actually I'm gonna discard the changes. I actually just added a text block, and I think this could work really well too. Like even knowing the content of our wedding website, it was more of just like an explanation of like how to get to the wedding venue, where to fly in. I don't necessarily think you need all of that extra context. So that's what I did for this website as well. And then I figured like adding a photo could be like a nice touch. You don't always have to use the widgets that they provide you. So I think that looks pretty good. And then I did actually use the places to stay one. And this is where I typed in Hotel del Coronado. Okay, there we go. And then, yeah, they kind of like pre-fill some of the stuff in there, and I'm pretty sure that, let's just scroll down here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I took out the phone number. I didn't think that was necessary. I think most people just go to the website, and actually what you could do is you could eventually replace this link with, if you have a hotel block, you could put your hotel block link in there, and so people can easily book through your discount, like if you have a discount for your guests. And they could also add in additional details here. And then I think I did not like where the photo was added here. I'll just show you what it looks like. I thought it was kind of in the way. So I'll upload that. We'll just see what it looks like, and then I'll show you what I ended up doing. So I'll save that, and then I'll scroll down. So yeah, because I had this photo here to show about traveling to San Diego, I feel like the content should actually come first here. So what I'm gonna go do is go back in here. I'm gonna remove the photo here. I did add some description here. There we go, we'll add that in. And then I'm actually gonna take out this stuff, because I don't think it's necessary. I want to make that title really short so it's easy for people to read where it's located. Because the website link is really going to be the core place that they're going to go to learn how to locate the hotel location. You'll see this is already, I think, starting to look better. I also think that some of this stuff is not necessary and it's adding an extra line of text. So I'm gonna get rid of that as well. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna get rid of the zip code and that it's in the USA. For the most part, I think Google Maps does a good job of figuring that out for you. Look at that, so much cleaner, easy to read. This is the address, this is like a little bit about it, and then click into the website and go. But I think a photo could add a little bit more color to like what the expectation is of where you're gonna be staying. I just went in here, added a photo. So you can do that here, and then you can order it for where you want it to be. And I want this photo to be at the very end. So I think that's already at a better spot. You can see here, but I'm starting to feel like this is really close. It's kind of meshing together and it's hard to differentiate the different sections. And so I'm using that hack I did again. Go here and I'm gonna add a large title, add a space in there, save it, and then I'm gonna pull it up. So I'm gonna add that large title and put it right below that photo, right there. And that's in a much better place. So I can actually differentiate the two different types of content. And this page is complete. I think this looks good. This matches exactly what I did for the other website. Which brings us to our very last page, things to do. So I'm gonna edit this page, go to our final completed website and see what it looks like. So I have the title of the page being Fun Things to Do in San Diego, and then going to the Coronado Dog Beach, especially if you're on Coronado. Why not go to the dog beach? It's a great beach. I recommend it if you're ever in San Diego. There's lots of dogs there, but also people just go there and hang out. I'm gonna change this to not be title cased like all the rest of the pages. I'm going to add an activity. Is that what I did? No, this was another one where I didn't think that this was necessary. Again, maybe depending on what type of activity you have that you want to do this, but I didn't necessarily want to. So what I did was I actually just added a small title. So I did Coronado Dog Beach, and then I added a photo. Go here and add this super cute photo of Coda. This is technically not at the Coronado Dog Beach, but it's at the beach nonetheless, and then add a text block. And so theoretically, you could also like add in the description about the activity and add a link to wherever it is that people might need to go to like do that activity. I think this is looking good, and I can tell I do actually need to create my large title also here at the top. Large title. Oh, fun things to do in San Diego. That's what it was. Fun things to do in San Diego. Awesome. Save that. Move it up to the top. Perfect. What else we got here? We also have, oh, I just basically repeated it because, yeah, theoretically you could have multiple things for people to do, but I wanted to, just for the purpose of this example, put something together really quickly. So here I'm going to do the same thing. So Coronado Dog Beach, small title. And then I'm gonna add another photo. I'm just gonna reuse the photo that I've already used on one of the other pages, but it has Coda in it. And then I'm gonna add that description. So text block, add it in, save, perfect. Looks good, everything's good. Okay, so the thing again here is that it's really tight. Look how tight that is next to each other. So again, we're gonna go in and do our hack, add in a large title and put it between the two sections. And now we have a better amount of space. And our website is complete. All right, that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope that you thought that was helpful, especially if you're a fiance and you're in the midst of wedding planning. Today's demo was of the knot. In the next video, I'm going to be demoing creating a wedding website using Zola. And then there's a couple other wedding websites that I'm planning to do demos of after that. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to be a subscriber. I make videos here on YouTube about design, careers in tech, what it's like living and working remotely out of San Diego, where I live with my family. I would love for you to be a part of it if that's something you're interested in. I think that is going to be all for now though, so I hope to see you in that next video. Bye.